Hey everybody, here's our last rights video and probably our last video lesson probably for the year, I'm thinking. So hopefully you've enjoyed these and learned a lot about your rights and the Bill of Rights and our Constitution. So we're going to look at the 9th, 10th, and 14th Amendments today. Not that the 11th, 12th, 13th aren't important, but looking at the ideas we have here, we're focusing on these ones too, okay? Here's the 9th Amendment. States the enumeration Constitution, certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others retained by the people. So in basic language, you have more rights that are listed in the Constitution. Rights that come up with things like your personal privacy in terms of like your health care, rights like to get a job, education, health care, talked about and debated what these things are. So basically, it comes down to the idea that just because it's not listed in the Constitution doesn't mean you don't have other rights too. And some are debated, right? Some are debated about this. Some have debated the idea of marriage, right? Is it a right to be married? And that came into the play of gay marriage a little bit, or same-sex marriage, I should say. We have some things with healthcare. Is healthcare right or not? That kind of thing. Working in job. Is that a right? And those things kind of come a little bit. But just know that you have more rights that are listed, right? You have the right to vote. You have the right to an education, right? That kind of stuff all comes into that 9th Amendment. The 10th Amendment, same thing here, that basically the power, we talked about this during Federalists a little bit, but just a little review of this one, that in layman term here, that basically anything that's not given to the federal government goes to the states. And so the biggest debate in the Constitution was who should have more power, federal government or the states. In an attempt to even those out, the states wanted kind of a guarantee that if it's not in the Constitution, the states have that power. Didn't really work that way out. I was talking about, money being a big player in the whole thing and federal budgets and all that kind of stuff. But, it kind of worked a little bit. Now, really the 14th Amendment, which was done in after the Civil War in the 1860s. And this happened when we had all the former slaves being freed in the United States after the Civil War. And we see the whole statement here about no state shall make or enforce any law, shall abridge privilege of the immunity of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive a person of life, liberty, property, or due process, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. We can break this down to three important clauses, if you will. One is citizenship, so the idea of what essentially is a citizen in the United States. And so this amendment kind of redefines citizenship as what it is. Next one is due process. Due process being how the law is applied when it comes to federal law and state law, okay? And rights for that matter too. Then equal protection, making sure that all people are protected by the rights and the laws, all that kind of stuff as well. So let's break each of these down real quick. The Citizenship Clause basically said there are two ways to become a citizen. Natural born citizens, much like people were, for the freed slaves were after the Civil War, that they had been born in the United States and were now a citizen, right, with the ending of slavery and outlaw of slavery, the 13th Amendment, and the Emancipation Proclamation. You could become either a born natural citizen or a naturalized citizen through process and test and all that kind of approve all those kind of things. And so the original goal was for, citizenship for the freed slaves after Civil War. And now it's kind of debated about if you're born here, birthright citizenship. So if you're born in the United States, you are a citizen. And some people argue that whole situation in terms of like immigration, all that kind of stuff, how it plays a role in those kinds of things. But that's a citizenship clause that if you're born here, boom, citizen, okay? Or through naturalization process. 14th Amendment also has a due process clause. Basically, the states cannot make laws that restrict people's rights, that the rights in the Bill of Rights apply to state laws as well. Before this, you had a big kind of like divide between what is state law, what is federal. It's very, very clean cut. Now things start getting more marble cake-like and start getting a little more intertwined. And so essentially, they make sure that state laws are not supposed to be able to circumvent people's rights either. Okay, that are listed in the Bill of Rights before that. All the Bill of Rights are going to apply to the states as well, not just the federal government. And lastly, then there are Equal Protection Clause. So Equal Protection Clause basically states that no one group can be targeted by the state government or by any government, right, and be denied protection underneath part of the laws. And so it's originally came out to for African Americans who were the freed slaves who were now citizens, make sure they weren't being discriminated against by governments. And it's been expanded now to gender issues, disabilities, other racial inequalities, LGBTQ rights, all that kind of stuff has been utilized for that 14th Amendment as well now, that all people get equal protection underneath the laws. That's 14th Amendment, very, very important. Most modern day cases actually apply the 14th Amendment to them. Everything from Obergefell v. Hodges, the same-sex marriage case, um, to Roe v. Wade, the abortion case, to many other cases, the 14th Amendment has played a big role in them in making sure there's equal protection under the laws. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen, for paying attention and hopefully learning about our Constitution, one of my favorite topics, and I hope you guys understand it better now too. Thank you for your time. I truly appreciate it.